Utah goes 3 wide here on 3rd and goal. They'll split out Parker as well. He's the 4th in the pattern. Dampier to the end zone. Oh, what an adjustment. J.J. Buchanan with a touchdown. They'll bring in the tight end, Otto Tia, as part of the triangle down at the bottom. Dampier running the other direction. Hops through and is in. Touchdown. Dampier loads up, fires, and he's got it there for the touchdown. Ryan Davis slides in smoothly on a 32-yard hit.
Feels great. It's just what we needed to clean our pipes out, so to speak. And, that was the objective all week long. And we spent a lot of time talking about just that. That, hey, we need to come back and play our kind of football and play the full 60 minutes and get back on track.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's do it, folks. It's your Ute Preview Show. The legend, Mr. Ute himself, Frank Dolce, joining us. Hi, Frank.
Hey, Scotty.
How are you?
It would not be a Ute
Fantastic.
Preview Show without a Ute on it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank you.
we got Frank, and we love Frank. Frank brings the heat every Thursday, and he brought the heat towards Lloyd.
Let me apologize for everything I've done to you, Frank. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry for wronging you all last week.
That sounds very sincere.
I have never.
You know what?
You know what?
Wait a second.
Even Hans Olsen thinks that's a bad apology.
With this guy for 18 freaking years, and I've never heard those words come out of his mouth for anything that you've offended me with. Why are you just going to free
Lloyd,
flow apologize
and by the
to
way,
Frank?
I want an apology to me where I'm just sitting here minding my own business, getting ready for the show on my computer, and all of a sudden I start catching strays, which I wanted no part of that.
And Lloyd hits Scotty with this guy and points at Scotty, continues to.
you know what, Lloyd? I just want to say that was sincere and heartfelt, and I fully accept your apology, and we're solid.
I appreciate it.
You and me.
Were you able to get back on the golf course, though? Were you able
No!
Oh, so you just missed the whole.
Yeah.
It was probably a great course, too.
Oh, it was amazing. It's an amazing course.
Yeah, Lloyd, you deserve it.
I probably did yourself a favor. For you
How
not
is the
going.
golf game, by the way, Frank?
I didn't want to shoot another 107.
Was
That's
it
true.
was it Glenn Wild?
You know it was.
No. I haven't played Glen Wild. I got invited to play Glen Wild several years ago, and I've never been invited back.
I got to play it once a year for about 6 years.
What happened?
I would host this annual Zero Prostate Cancer event. I would host it. And as what I would do for my.
Oh, you're on camera. Yeah, you did that on camera.
What did you do on camera?
No, I mean,
He
you
did
just,
Dr. Jellyfinger.
yeah.
Anywho,
Just what they had free one of those at the
Did like the night.
at the turn.
I really don't like that you're funny. I don't like that you're funny, Frank. But I got to play it once a year for a bit. And, yeah, that's a good one.
How do you feel about you've played
It's a good-
Promontory?
Yes.
How do you feel about Glen Wild? Where would you rank
Promontory
those?
has 2 18s, right?
It does.
Yeah, I've played them both. They're both great. Glen Wild's better.
Is it?
Yes. And I like the Promontory course that comes down through the canyon. That's my favorite.
With like the 700-yard par 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I think Utah is underrated for the quality of golf.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Golf courses
The problem
available.
is it's not. It used to be a really nice, well-kept secret, and
it's
and then
busy now.
COVID just screwed that all up.
That's the
Tee
truth.
sheets
Yeah.
are packed.
That's the truth. I still love Wasatch. I think still Wasatch is my favorite course in the state. Wasatch State Park.
Hobble Creek is my favorite.
Oh, Hobble Creek
It's
is
my
a
favorite.
very close. Yeah.
That's my
It's
favorite.
hard to beat. That's a good one.
That's such a beautiful. Right now, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the four of us. Well, how about we? Do we have some things we can play, Lloyd?
On Friday?
No, right now.
Oh.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
four of us get out and we try to rebound from all this anger and venom.
I got my clubs in my car.
So do I.
So do I.
Lloyd.
I have my clubs, my shoes. I have a spare set of clubs in case my other clubs aren't working very well. I have whatever you need.
Wait, you have an extra pair of clubs?
I have
Let's do it.
2 putters. Yeah, the whole thing.
Well, here's the post-game show. As you heard Saturday night after Utah beat West Virginia in its entirety, beginning now.
Okay, we'll see you on Friday.
Yep.
Just kidding. We'd never do that to you.
And Frank, you're going to be here on Friday, right?
Don't.
That's uncalled for.
We're square.
That's uncalled
Lloyd,
for.
we're square.
Scotty.
All right.
This whole conflict revolves around a miscommunication, okay, Lloyd, regarding Friday of last week.
So, Frank, we've got an interesting juxtaposition here. I'm getting ready to call the BYU-West Virginia game tomorrow, and Utah just came out of the Utah-West Virginia game, so I've been watching a lot of that film.
Uh-huh.
And that first half was as clean and as good-looking as you could have hoped from Utah.
Yeah. I think in lots of ways, back on track in lots of ways. But I think they still came out of that game with some, I think we can improve.
Really?
Yeah, I think Utah can
Wow,
improve.
you set the bar high, man.
I didn't set the expectation.
That's fair.
I mean,
That's fair.
The expectation coming out of camp was sky high.
Yeah.
Especially with the offensive front.
Yeah, it stumbled. As far as expectations are concerned, the expectations, they've already stumbled with the Texas Tech game. But I actually felt like they recouped quite a bit. But now, Frank, I'm trying to figure out how good West Virginia is. I told Scotty, I said, I think Stanford's a better team than West Virginia, but now I've watched 3 games. I've watched the Pitt game, the Kansas game, and the Utah game. And I recanted. I took that back. That's not true. West Virginia is better than Stanford. I think West Virginia would probably beat Stanford by 10 points.
Stanford's not very good, but really?
I think so. Yeah, they've got some explosive players, but Utah did a great job of reducing really any explosive moments, right? For the most part. There was one.
I think that final,
To me, the thing that really I think Utah needed to do, and we've talked about this earlier in the weekends, there needed to be no element of doubt. It wasn't just win this game, but really flex on West Virginia because there was so much uncertainty after the Texas Tech. There was who are we? Is this going to be another 5-7 year? And to go out and make a statement like, no, we're not doing that. And to not even allow West Virginia to even have a sniff in that game. Be up 28-0 at halftime. I think that was really important for the psyche of this team.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you a few questions about this, both of you, a few questions about this football game, Utah, West Virginia, because you think coming out of that, there's no doubt left. Like Utah's legit.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I don't.
Right.
I just think it was important for the confidence of this team to go out there and do that. Now, I still have plenty of questions about Utah.
Yeah, I do too. And still coming out of that game, can Utah win if you have to rely on the passing game to be the substantial, most productive part of your offense? And I'm talking about 65% completion percentage, 7-8 yards per completion, pushing the ball downfield.
Against West Virginia, yeah, it all looked good. And I felt like the connections, these 3, I felt like the Ryan Davis,
yes,
the Dallin Bentley, and the J.J. Buchanan connections.
Great, yeah.
But what I'd like to see improve is Tobias Merriweather. That's the connection I want to see take a big jump.
I don't think you're talking about individual receivers. I think you're talking about a quarterback.
Yeah. I'm talking about the quarterback position.
So
specifically,
he had a really high completion percentage against West Virginia.
He did, but who else on the schedule is West Virginia? Like I feel like West Virginia is bottom of the Big 12.
It's the worst team that they're going to play.
Outside of Oklahoma State.
They don't play them this year. Right? They don't play Oklahoma State this year.
Oh, I just looked over the schedule. I swear that I saw Oklahoma State.
No, they don't.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. If they did play Oklahoma State, then that would be the bottom.
Well, so everybody else, well, gosh, I'm looking across the schedule closely.
Should be Colorado easy.
Yeah.
Should be Kansas State easy.
Colorado beats West Virginia by 10 points, don't you think?
Yep, I think you're right, Scotty.
Really?
Yep. Salter's good.
Arizona State.
What did you think about the quarterback situation for what West Virginia was facing? Do you feel like that was a big part of? Essentially, you could have blanked them. You started rotating your second and thirds in, and West Virginia got a couple late points.
Yeah. So there's a couple things I think that you could say happened late. Maybe picked up some yards, rushing yards, some late points. I think, are you asking whether or not the injuries to West Virginia were significant enough to be a factor in that game? I don't think the health of the players who were missing would have changed the outcome of the game. I don't think that at all, because Utah did what they're supposed to do at the line of scrimmage. And when, especially on the offensive side, I think defensively there's enough talent behind the front to make up for if there's a lack of performance. But on the offensive side, if Utah is getting a push at the line of scrimmage, Utah's going to be successful. They'll be able to, it'll open up the run game. Dampier's going to be more comfortable. They can operate with a short to mid-range passing game. They don't necessarily have to push the ball downfield. And so I just don't think that the health of anybody from West Virginia was going to change the outcome of that game.
Fair enough.
Maybe a few more points. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more points.
So if you were to rank your hierarchy of concerns for Utah as quarterback number one.
Yeah. Quarterback's number one. He does really good things. He's off the charts athletically. He seems to be very durable. It looks like he makes good decisions running the football in the run game. I think the question he still has to answer, I think he has the ability. He's not going to be he's just not going to be an elite thrower of the football. That's just not his skill set. He's not a classic thrower of the football. But I think he can be more efficient in the throwing game. And so he has a lot of really, really good qualities. But what we saw against Texas Tech, if another team is able to mirror what Texas Tech did at the line of scrimmage, force the run game, put the pressure on the passing game downfield, that's when Utah's going to be in trouble. As I look across this schedule, I don't know if there's another. Well, there's maybe one in a couple weeks that can put that kind of pressure at the line of scrimmage, and we'll have a scheme that is going to be, first of all, a scheme that's going to be very, very well coached and executed. And so I see that I could see that happening in one or two other games, which, I guess that still gives you a optimism about this Utah football team.
For sure.
Yeah, but what you're saying is kind of an issue because coming into this, you felt like Devin Dampier was the strength of this.
Mm-hmm.
And now Scotty asks you, where do you think the biggest weakness is? And you're saying it's potentially Devin Dampier. Now, I'm with you. I see things that I'm like, geez, that's incredible. And then I see that pick that he threw to West Virginia in the first half.
I know. And you're like, what? Where did that come from?
He airballed it into, I think it was a single high safety. And I don't know if he thought the route was going to bow in more. I don't know if there was miscommunication between him and the receiver. But he really lobbed that up there. And it landed like the safety was returning a punt.
Yeah, he almost fair caught it. He nearly fair caught it.
He did.
The safety nearly.
Here's the thing. And what was it? Two interceptions he threw against Texas Tech that were like, oh,
yeah, yuck.
Yep.
I almost like those circumstances against Texas Tech were. we're getting murdered at the line of scrimmage. We're zero productivity on the offensive side, and Dampier's mindset is, I have to make a play. I'm the guy. I have to make a play, and so he's really reaching. A couple of those passes were just like.
I mean, you take the kid out of New Mexico. You can't take the New Mexico out of the kid. No, I mean, it's serious. Like he had to do so much at New Mexico last year.
I know.
That against Texas Tech, that makes you wonder, though, Scotty, is this what you're going to get when it's scramble time?
When adversity hits.
That's right.
Do you revert back to, well, I got to go make a play?
Yeah.
Or do you be like, okay, trust my weapons around me.
Yes.
I got good guys around me. I can do this, this, and this, and this.
Yes. I think one thing that came out of the West Virginia game, we talked about this last week, about this concept of depth of talent on the offensive side for Utah. And so I'm not saying like it's elite anywhere, but it's this talent level that's really good, above average, I would say at worst, above average talent level with a lot of different guys. And so the ability to get all of those guys touches during a game, I think that creates tremendous pressure on a defensive side. And then maybe you don't have to rely on Dampier pushing the ball downfield. It's just not yet what he does well. But if you can hit a wide receiver and a tight end and a back out of the backfield, and then you have a Smith Snowden or a Lander Barton creating a little mismatch somewhere, the defense now can't focus on one particular area. They can't necessarily shade aside because the depth of talent, it's like this equal depth of talent across the field. You kind of have to manage each space on the defensive side. I think that's a strength for Utah if they keep utilizing it that way.
Agreed. So Utah on a bye week. So Hans and I had this conversation about BYU in the bye week, and then, with Utah as well. There's certain things that you can fix in a bye week, or you can fix throughout the course of a season. There are certain things that you're just like, well, that's who we are, and there's nothing we can do about it. What is fixable for Utah?
What is fixable for Utah?
Your concerns about the O-line, I think, are fixable.
How okay?
Because I don't have a lot of concerns, but the Texas Tech game did throw me for a little bit of a loop.
What is okay? So to me, Hans did some really nice film study on that. So we saw some issues in that game. But is that fixable? Okay, if it's a lack of execution, fixable. Yeah,
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You can coach that and get that managed and straightened out. Okay. But if it's a lack of talent, athleticism, that's not fixable. You can't fix that in a bye week. I just felt like Utah was outmanned against Texas Tech. I'm really curious to see how Texas Tech manages the rest of the season. Is that like what they did against Utah? Is that going to be the standard for Texas Tech? Is there that much talent on the defensive front? Because it felt like they just completely created a stalemate at the line of scrimmage. Utah had no answer for that. So was it execution or was it a talent issue?
What I saw against Texas Tech, it was more execution, and it was more by auxiliary blockers.
I know you pointed that out.
Yeah, it was more by auxiliary. You need a block from your running back. You need a block from your tight end. You need a block from your H-back. You need a block from your wide receiver.
Fano not to run 18 yards downfield.
That hurt. That hurt.
By the way, that's such a terrible knock on Spencer. He's been very good.
Well,
he's been very good this year.
There's actually some controversy behind that whole thing.
Like what?
Well,
what's the controversy?
I mean, it's just strange because Kyle Whittingham was it post game or was that a Monday morning?
Oh, the RPO comments. It was post game, right? Where he said that it wasn't RPO, that it was a play action.
He said it was a play action. But I don't believe that. Look, Kyle would know. It just doesn't look that way to me.
Yeah.
Spencer's too smart to run downfield on a play action. Frank, right?
I think so.
Because okay, so to Scotty's question, and to your point about Spencer, that's very fixable.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown next time.
Mm-hmm.
If that is, in fact, supposed to be a play-action rollout, Spencer won't go downfield. There were multiple times on screen looks that Landon Barton just didn't block. Or if that wasn't his responsibility, which I'm pretty sure it was, I mean, they were leaving Smith-Snowden as a sacrificial lamb on some of those screens. They're trying to push to the outside, and you just weren't picking up the blocks.
No blocks.
And so I personally think that there's mental errors and that the talent is there. And I'm not as down on the offensive line as some, because I feel like, but that might be the offensive lineman and me blaming others that should pick up the slack, knowing that, I'm doing my job. Now, I do recognize and acknowledge the word you used, stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give you that. There was not heavy surge against Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that. And that could be a problem. And but look, if you could surge against Texas Tech right now, you'll surge against any defensive front.
Sure, but
that's the expected.
But it didn't.
I get it.
It didn't occur. I was listening to the West Virginia radio broadcast during the Utah game, and the thing their broadcaster kept saying, the color commentator kept saying is, if you tell
look at the nice set of teeth on. Oh,
oh my gosh, nope. Is the like West
Steve, put down your banjo. Give us some comments here.
West Virginia wasn't. None of that. You didn't say that either. Yeah, they went to break with the banjo tune. He said, if Utah continues to push our defensive line around, this is going to be a long day. And that's what you expect out of the Utah offensive front. To get a push on whoever they play. And so if Utah, like that's just going to be the hallmark of success for Utah. It kind of always is, but maybe there's more emphasis on it this year because of the high expectation of the offensive line. So I think we'll go through the rest of this football season and say, offensively, when Utah gets a push, look at the success they had. If Utah is being managed at the line of scrimmage somehow, or the run game is being taken away because of the defensive scheme, then I think we'll say, well, Utah struggled in that game.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
All right, Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's your Ute Preview Show. Utes on a bye, but we're still breaking it down right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars welcome in West Virginia to Lavelle Edwards Stadium for a battle with the Mountaineers. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is your Ute Preview Show. Frank Dolce's hanging out with us. Utes on a bye, Frank, but they'll be back in action coming up next week with a big one against Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, do we have any details on Jackson Benny?
Not that I've seen.
So Witt didn't say...
They haven't had any availability.
Witt didn't say anything season-ending or...
Well,
because Witt didn't do a Monday presser.
Yeah, because he didn't do a Monday presser.
Which is funny because in his thing on after the post game, he said, "I'll probably let you guys give you guys an update on Monday," even though he wasn't available.
He knew. Frank, how bad is that, the Benny situation?
How bad is it?
Because I felt like Benny has been the brightest spot, I'm talking about the unknown bright spot of the season.
Yeah, I think he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think there is a concern about productivity gap when a guy like that goes out. So,
you think it's a significant amount of time?
It looked like a non-contact. Did you see how it happened? Guy kind of hit into his legs. He took a step and then kind of
bobbled,
hitched on it.
I know. I don't. And the way that Coach, I never get it right when I guess on how Coach Whittingham is acting about it. Although it does seem like if it's a season-ending thing, he comes out almost immediately and says that. So,
well, we still need to wait and see, but it doesn't look good or something along those lines.
Yeah, and I haven't had any indication like that.
Yeah,
about him. So
it was weird because he put zero pressure on it. Did you notice that when he was coming off the field?
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Like he hopped one leg and kept that other one totally retracted, and that made me a little bit nervous because I just know from experience, when you injure a leg or foot or ankle, you put pressure on it because you're like, how is this?
How's it going to feel?
And so you put pressure on it, and you're like, he didn't. So I'm like, did he feel it pop? And he's thinking, well, if I put pressure, it's going to go, or was he in so much pain? Maybe he just didn't want to put his foot on the ground and check it out. Maybe that's it.
That could be. You know, when you're describing that, there's a terrible video somewhere. It's probably on YouTube of the cage fighters that and one guy kicks the other guy right across the shin, and the guy's ankle clearly snaps, and so it almost looks like he's trying to do that, step down and test to see, and there was nothing there, no support.
I'm hoping that it's not long term because his interceptions have been big. He's gotten interceptions when you really needed him.
Both sides of the ball, he's been meaningful.
Yeah.
So the interceptions certainly, his coverage. He can take away a receiver. I mean, he can take a receiver right out of the read. Like, he's just been super productive, and I'm just hopeful that based on the way Coach Whittingham and the team is managing it, like there's a possibility he's gonna come find his way back.
One guy that I felt took a step forward with West Virginia, somebody I felt more comfortable and confident about, was Wayshawn Parker.
You did?
I did. Yeah, he had a couple big runs, and then he had that scramble drill pass that I really liked. Frank, am I wrong in saying that it feels like each quarterback and running back or wide receivers or tight ends, it feels like they all have their own scramble drill design, right? I mean, there are some basic route changes for receivers when the quarterback takes off, where it's like, okay, scramble drill. I was telling Scotty, my favorite all-time scramblers were Rob Gronkowski and Wes Welker. Those are like when Tom would scramble, those guys would get open. Mm-hmm. And Tom would look them up. And what I'm saying is, with Devin Dampierre, you better have good connectivity in scramble opportunities. And I saw that with Wayshawn Parker. Devin got on the outside. Wayshawn came to the flats. Wayshawn was supposed to stop in the flats and wait. He saw Dampierre start to roll, and he took off for the end zone. And that was that 15-yard drop where Dampierre just teardropped it, and Wayshawn turned at the pylon. It was almost out of bounds, but came down with it. Mm-hmm. Like those kinds of things, I like seeing those things because that's telling me that he's connecting with Devin, Devin's connecting with him, and they better all get really good at these scramble drills because if they do and they break the routes and Dampierre trusts them, then Dampierre will look them up and they'll get some yards off it.
Yeah, well, the scramble drill is going to be prominent because I think there's more of a chance that Dampierre drops back, goes through a progression, gets uncomfortable, and starts moving around. I think will be the norm. It's not going to be drop back, hit my fifth step, it's 15 yards down the field, completion. The other thing is that, relative is getting Dampierre on the move in the passing game by design. And so it's not quite the same, but almost like a scramble drill scenario. And so now receivers have routes that they're running, but it's almost like you have to understand what's happening with the quarterback as well to find a passing lane in movement, to find an open space to sit down and maybe alter a route slightly based on what's happening with the quarterback as he's rolling out. And so the thing about that is it doesn't happen in one game. The relationship, even with an off-season of practice, the relationship isn't there. You don't get that kind of look outside of being in a game situation. And so over the course of time, that hopefully that develops. I think that's what you're saying is hopefully that develops between Dampier and his group downfield. Right. And maybe it's already developed with Parker.
There's one guy that's exceptional at it and has already got the touch and the flair, and that's Ryan Davis.
Yeah.
Like it's already there.
But they have a previous relationship
together. Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
Because he will look up Davis anywhere, anytime, and he knows I'm going to put this down and low, and Davis is going to get it.
I know. I think if you could say that there's a comfort level with somebody, it's probably those two.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
Yeah.
How much is that practiced?
Scramble drill?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's practiced.
Every week, yeah.
It's practiced for sure, with some guys more than others. Like, I would think it would be a significant portion of the practice with Dampier.
Yeah.
Like, that's his talent.
Like, when you see him get to this point, break.
But is there, I mean, when he breaks, though, is it just backyard football, or are there certain rules that these guys follow?
There's rules, but there's also some improvisation as it's occurring.
Yeah.
So typically, obviously, if Dampier starts rolling right and you're a receiver on the other side of the field, there's no chance that he's going to throw the ball back across the field. So you're not just going to, like, hey, I found this open spot all by myself. There's nothing. You're not helpful to the offense at that point. So everybody starts flowing to where the quarterback is going, and then you're trying to find throwing lanes, open spaces in the defense, and you're slightly altering your route. The other thing that you have to do is you have to be able to make eye contact with the quarterback. That is a big thing. So as the quarterback is rolling out and looking downfield, you have to be able to make eye contact with the person, with the receiver, whoever's downfield, with the ability to make a play so that you're communicating.
Kind of
That's the way you communicate.
An acknowledgement of, you know and I know.
Yeah. And so when you see quarterbacks like, they're doing the hand gesture, like,
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's clearly communication happening, and that's really important.
Well, I think it's going to come along, and I've really pointed that. I've emphasized that because that's what I want to see, because I think there's going to be a lot of moments where Dampier is going to be on the run, and the more route breaks in scramble drill that you can find and feel comfortable with, this offense really could get a lot better. I think that there's upside with this offense, personally. I mean, I feel like Devin Dampier is going to get more comfortable with Bentley, more comfortable with Buchanan, and more comfortable with Merriweather.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that is one of the sources of optimism. Is there's a lot of progress. There's a lot of opportunity for this offense to evolve and improve over time. So I think that's great. And as they start understanding each other more, maybe there's more efficiency gained, maybe there's more productivity gained. And so those are things that we'll have to monitor each and every week. I keep saying about this football team, like, what? So after these 4 games, what are your observations of Utah football? Offensively, generally, but mostly offensively, I would say this is a team with enough talent that they could go through the rest of this schedule and not take a loss. There's enough talent on this team to go through the rest of the schedule and not take a loss. if they play at their highest level, if they are performing at their highest level each and every week. But this is also a team that can't, there's not enough talent on the team to
You could see three losses
throw
on
a
there.
bad one out there
Yeah.
and say, we're going to figure out how to win this game.
Yeah.
There's not enough talent to be able to do that.
All right, Hans and Scotty, Frank Dolce, your Ute Preview Show. Remember, coming up on tomorrow's show, it'll be another Football Friday with Alema Harrington and Ron McBride. And, Frank, you can hang out with us for an hour if you'd like. Sorry. Hans and Scotty.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's your call. I wouldn't want you to change any tee times or anything, though. Just, keep us. Just know there's an open invitation.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
It's a bye week for Utah as Kyle Whittingham gets his squad ready for the second half of the season. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is your Ute Preview Show, wrapping up hour number 2 of the show. From your perspective, how are bye weeks? You enjoy them? You hate them? You want to just get back to going playing football? What's it like for you, Frank?
Yeah, I think a bye week is necessary because it's such a violent sport and people are dinged up. So if you're talking about what you can fix in the bye week, I think injuries are the biggest thing. Overcoming some soreness and maybe some nagging things, and get yourself ready to go for the second half of the season. So I think bye weeks are challenging in a way because it's coming off of a bye week is a little bit like starting over when you get into game play, but in terms of health of the team, and I think this is a good opportunity for Utah to get healthy. And there's been some trial in this first 4 weeks, so an opportunity to work through some of those issues.
Give me your grade on Lander Barton through the first 5 games.
Defensively or offensively?
Give me the defensive grade and tell me if it could be better if he wasn't on the offensive side.
Oh. I think he's been super productive.
He was very good. West Virginia was his best game that I've seen.
Defensively. Yeah, I think he's been super productive. And would he be even more productive if he was dedicated solely to the defensive side? I think it would be hard to say that he wouldn't be more productive on the defensive side. I think maybe here's what I would say. I don't know at this point if he gives enough to the offense to justify him not just playing defense. I think that's what I would say about that. Like, I don't think it's necessary, especially with the emergence of some of the other guys. I don't think it's necessary to have him on the offensive side. When Eric Weddle would flip over and go play quarterback, that felt critical. And he was very reliable. He could always pick up 2 yards if he needed to. Like, he was very successful in that role. And so I think you could justify that. I don't hate Lander Barton playing offense, but I don't know that you say Lander Barton is making a significant difference on the offensive side.
I don't know either.
And so, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think he's making a difference. Is it hurting him defensively? And that's hard, I know. I'm asking you to make a judgment statement here, but
I think it would be difficult to say that there's not some effect on him defensively, but I think his productivity on the defensive side is really good, and I think it will continue to even get better. So, to me, it's more of like it's a distraction rather than it's really taking away from what he's doing on the defensive side.
I think you're right, though. If it was Sione Vaki level of
productivity,
Sione was critical. And, I think of it in BYU terms with, like, Jack Kelly. Like, I would love to see Jack Kelly on the offensive side of the ball. Love it. Jack Kelly could be a great running back. He could be a great H-back. But Jack Kelly, it's so critical
that he'd
be at absolute peak to cover edges.
Yeah.
That there's
you can't
no concern of fatigue.
Yeah.
No concern of, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about that next offensive drive. Or I was thinking about, I should have picked up that block. Instead of thinking, you better have your contain because, some of those contains were so critical against Colorado. So, like, I think of it, I would love to see Jack Kelly on the offensive side. I'm not willing to sacrifice what he brings defensively to bring it to the offense. But I don't know. Maybe Lander is a different kind of beast.
Well, it's like Smith Snowden. He didn't touch the ball against West Virginia, did he?
No, I don't think so.
No. But he was out there for a good handful of snaps. So is the threat?
So someone's paying attention.
Is
to
the
him.
threat of Smith Snowden on that alone just worth?
See, that might be
the distraction.
Smith Snowden's a different case, I think, than Lander Barton. Smith Snowden's been productive.
Yeah.
On the offensive side, and he's been a significant part of the offensive game plan coming into West Virginia. So teams are going to have to dedicate a resource to Smith Snowden, and so that I think that's meaningful. If Snowden's playing on both sides of the ball.
All right, 2:00 straight up. Hans and Scotty, we'll continue on with your Ute Preview Show. Frank Dolce hang out with us.
Just to wrap that up, because I want to throw this at you. So I think if I'm Jason Beck, I have to ask myself, okay, I'll go back. I'm going to look at this film of Barton. Is he doing things that Otto Tia couldn't do? Is he doing things that, now it's tough because Hunter Andrews is gone.
Yeah.
But is he doing things that Down Bentley or J.J. Buchanan, or is he doing things that another offensive player that I've got can't go do? Because at this point, I don't think so. I don't think he's done things offensively that nobody else on that team could do. I could be wrong. That's just an outside viewer saying, I think there's other guys on the roster that could do it.
Well, and the other thing is he not doing things that other guys would do, like the blocking situation that you brought up.
Maybe. But then to your point, it is an explosive threat to have on the field.
Yeah.
So maybe.
All right, 2:00. Hans and Scotty, hour number 3 of the show coming up next right here on The Zone.